back to the face. I hit them. All right, come back to the face. I'm ready. Understand? See. Thank you, my friend. Awesome. All right.
I've owned Casey's Fitness since 1992. I started the business when I was in graduate school. Thought it would pay for books, and after about 6 months of doing private lessons, I had about 12 or 15 clients, and that was without pushing it. And I liked the changes that I saw in others. I liked the changes I saw in myself. And it was just so much fun that I thought it would be better than finishing graduate school, and ran with it. And now 27 years later, we've had over 20,000 people come through our doors. I have outstanding people who are very much like family. They are family in a sense, who have helped with this business. And it's so much more than a business. It really is. It's a community, and it's just been a great life's work. The youth boxing program, I would have to say it really sort of, we were always working with kids, but I would say it really got started in full swing, a little over 20 years ago.
Tuesday and Thursday, our students at the time of dismissal walk about 6 blocks down to Casey's Fitness and engage in comprehensive physical fitness program there. So it's not just boxing. They are learning self-defense, they are learning the techniques of boxing, but they're also practicing calisthenics. But more importantly, they're practicing, mindfulness and discipline in terms of time management, in terms of collaborating as a team, in terms of learning the importance of a sound mind and body. So the lessons that they get from Casey's program go way beyond just knowing how to throw a jab or a hook, but really speak to the needs of the whole adolescent. It also gives them a great place to release some of their energy in a very healthy way and understand that this is really a lifelong commitment to both fitness and healthy, mind and body.
The kids who are here now, we have some kids who pay for a membership, but a good portion of them are obviously they're sponsored, and when I say they're sponsored, they're, that's me, and then there's also an outstanding lawyer in the community, Mike Tahari, and he's fantastic, and he also supports the program. These kids are. They've come from different places, Yemen, Puerto Rico, Thailand, Congo, Nepal. John Starkey at Lafayette High School is just a wonderful fellow who has been feeding us kids who, they need something. They need something extra.
You must have your hands wrapped and be hitting at 25 after 4. Or on my mom's grave, you will leave the gym. God bless you, God bless you more.
I think that this youth boxing program is important to the students because it gives them an outlet. For some people, it's filmmaking. For some people, it's drawing or art. For others, it might be music. For others, it's team sport. But for some of those kids that are a little bit more introspective, some of the kids that might have a lot of pent-up anger, some of those kids that maybe have been bullied at times in their lives, once you get in that gym and at first you don't think that you can make it, and they're having you do push-ups and you're struggling even to do one push-up, and you're trying to learn the combinations, the jab and the hooks and the uppercuts, and you kind of feel awkward the way it's coming out, and you're seeing the other people in the gym, being able to do it, you start to doubt yourself. But at Casey's, everybody knows your name. And so when you walk in there, everyone will say your name. If you mess up, it's okay. They're gonna help you get up. They're gonna dust you off. Gonna keep on going. There's certain goals that they're working towards meeting. So all of that is building the students' confidence, and it's letting the students see that they have a place.
Kevin, instead of just teaching me how to, punch and, be a fighter, he also teaches me to be a nice person, He tells me stories that give you an advice sometimes, helps you out, control your anger, keep it inside of you and use it when it's necessary. Feelings are normal, emotions, if you get angry, anybody can get angry with no problem because that's just an emotion everybody feels. If somebody is bugging you, like making fun of you or bullying you, just don't fist fight it first. Talk around, try to figure things out, try to work out. Don't use physical fighting.
Keep it close. Even if you try to punch me here, punch me here. You could use your elbow to block the punch. Gotcha. Before, when we first came to the United States, first everything was different to us, and the people, the culture itself was totally different from what we are used to, and the Somali Bantu population itself was very low in Buffalo, New York itself, and the English language was very difficult for us, and we had no friends. And so there was this one day, my mother sent me to a corner store to go buy some groceries for my family. And there were these 3 teenagers who were wearing ninjas on their face. Those kids attacked me and they took my money, they ran away. I went home crying to my mom. We didn't know what to do. First, we couldn't call the police because we wouldn't know how to communicate with the police. And second, I didn't know who these people were. I just know there were 3 and they were wearing ninjas. They beat me and ran away. I went home, we brushed it off, nothing we could do about it. Fine. From after that day, I became a very different person in terms of my mental changed. I became a very angry person. Someone beat me for no reason, especially knowing that I have come from a country that there was so much of killing, civil war going on, and we have come to the United States for better living, and now this is happening to me again. That really got to me. From there, I wanted to know how to fight so that I can stand up to the bullies, whether at school or on the street itself.
It's got to be incredibly tough it's just tough to have that happen. But in light of his past, he's thinking, I don't have a father. He was killed in the violence of Somalia, and if we didn't escape, they would have killed us too. And here I am in this country. Well, welcome to America. Welcome to America. So he thought, I've got to get skilled. I've got to acquire skills to protect my family. And so he went over. He heard about some martial artist who was teaching boxing and Aikido and other things at First Presbyterian Church. He came downstairs, he watched, and in his own words, he said, I have to get me some of this.
I wanted to be in that class to learn how to fight. And usually, Sensei will ask you, what brings you here? What do you want to get out of this program? And with why exactly I went there for was that I wanted to know how to fight so that I can stand up to the bullies. And Sensei told me, welcome to the class, but from here on, we'll teach you how to not to fight.
Rama never got into a fight again. He never got into a fight again. So I think, teaching you how not to fight, certainly, there's poor techniques and there's poor practice, but I think that it really starts with having a non-fighting mind. If you're always thinking about the fight, ready for the fight, sometimes you attract what you fear in life. Sometimes you attract what you fear. So I think that for Rama, it was being immersed in a discipline and in a supportive environment where he's taught, he became quite confident, and he became very relaxed with his skill base. And the strange irony is that you train to learn how to fight, but then you don't have to fight. It's a funny thing, I think it was Shakespeare who said, "Oh, to have a giant's strength, but how tyrannous and use it like one." What makes his mitts feel good? Cece, he's doing it.
So he's putting pressure. So you always told us that we're supposed to, the puncher and the holder is supposed to be, both are supposed to be punching.
Yeah!
So like when you hold, you're supposed to be putting some pressure on and turning your body the same way you would if you were throwing.
Right. So if this great, let's see, if this great man is throwing a punch at me, boom. I'm turning with him. See, look at me. Boom. But if I just do this, how'd that feel? Awful, yeah. And here's the other extreme. Watch this, ready?
Whenever I'm telling people about this class that I do or being able to work out in the gym or just Kevin Cunningham in general, I always tell him he taught me how to walk down the street the right way, because he taught us how to walk down the street with a presence that will show that you're like observational about your surroundings and you're aware and you're like in the moment, so that maybe people who are walking by just like understand that you're kind of like you understand what's going on around you, and that can like help you out in a lot of ways and help you protect yourself. So I think that's something really important that has stuck with me.
I'm from Kenya. It's a country in the middle of Africa. That country is full of a lot of like violence, and people shoot each other with the guns, and some of them carry guns. The city that I'm from is like the worst city. I used to learn how to do arrows, and they forced us to do a lot of training when I was in my country. And here when I came, I kind of learned more about the emotion and the perspective. And
that's it. Again. Good. The speed will come. Good. That's it, girl.
I started out just as Army, scout and stuff, and worked my way up, became a sniper. From 2005 to 2007, I was in the Surge of Baghdad. Spent a lot. It was a nasty time in the war. We've seen a lot of action. We were spearheading that operation. We were all through Baghdad, Baqariyah, Mosul, all the way up to the Sunni Triangle by Anbar Province. So when I got out the military and I discharged, I struggled, man. I fell into substance abuse, and I struggled with addiction for a few years. It was a very, very difficult, dark time in my life. And to be where I am today is just, it's amazing.
I believe, and we talk about it at our gym with our kids, the thing that's within our grasp is heart. Heart. I would rather have an athlete who has heart and little athletic ability than someone who is blessed beyond measure but has no heart. Day by day, what we think, what we do is who we become. And like I always say, before you close your eyes for the last time, who do you want to say you were?
I like to have to be at my best, and at everything I do, I want to be at my best. And like I say, how you box is how you do life, and vice versa, So I'll give it all I got in here so that when I'm out there, I can give it all I got.
Rotate! Rotate, Aaron. Thank you. Moving in the arm. Movement in the arm happens because of the body constantly transferring the weight. In, out, in and out. Does that make sense? You gotta shadow box it. If you learn how to transfer weight, you'll become a better baseball player, football player, boxer, better person. Go away.
The kids, they're learning everything that they need to learn about boxing. But I also too, I think that when you ask them, they'll tell you, well, I'm learning more than boxing, I'm learning about life.
Kevin's a great storyteller. I think what makes Kevin a unique instructor is he wants to make the world a better place, and he has the ability to communicate with young people through stories, and I think really elevate them not only through body and mind, but spiritually. He wants them to be successful people, and part of this program that he and Pietro have created is about making these people not only successful, students of boxing, but also successful in community.
He's such an engaging storyteller, and I think that's his best quality, because he can really teach you something about how to be a good person as well as a good boxer without like telling you to be a good person. He's giving you other stories and aspects of life that you wouldn't really get otherwise.
How'd you make the world a better place today? Tell me one small thing that you did that made the world just a little bit better.
The story about the wolf is the thing that has helped me the most. It's a really good story.
The story of the two wolves, that's a favorite, especially for Jeff. He loves that one. It's a Native American story, and a grandfather is sitting with his grandson, and he says, there are two wolves that live in every person, two wolves, and they're always in contention with one another. They're always, there's a struggle between both of them. One wolf, the first wolf, is mean-spirited. It is not kind. It's greedy. It's easily angered. It doesn't protect the pack, and it only thinks about itself. And it's filled with fear and even rage. The other wolf, though, well, the other wolf, that wolf is noble. It's kind. It's loving. It thinks for the pack before it thinks for itself. It truly is a noble creature. And those are the two wolves that live in each person. And the grandson says, which one is stronger? Which one wins? And the grandfather says, whichever one you feed. Whichever one you feed.
Yeah, he talked about the two wolves, the bad one and the good one, that a kid has to choose which one he has to feed them. And that reminds me of my own story, that I can go back feeling bad for myself, or I can look forward and change everything.
I think that one of the biggest things I've learned from being in this program specifically is just how to be involved in like a community, and that's almost not one of your own. So I have always been a part of this gym community, but it's interesting to be part of like the community of the surrounding the gym. I mean, I only live like a few miles away, but it's very different, like where the school that I am at and the people that I'm around are very different from the people that are in this gym and the people that are in the class. And I think that it's really important to just get that, like to see different people and to learn about other people. And just to kind of like set yourself into like a more diverse kind of environment.
You can hit me anytime you want.
Oh, I can?
Yeah, hit me, go ahead. You hit me, I'll pay for your college education. KC's has always had a very strong role in the community beyond the walls. So for many years we were doing tree plantings, beautification projects, and we thought it would be fun to work with young people, and we thought it would be neat if we gave them an opportunity to also be involved in some of the beautification efforts that we were taking on the West Side. So I remember on Saturday mornings, kids came in and they had a choice. They could either pay for the class with $10, and at $10 they'd go towards tree plantings on Elmwood Avenue, or they could spend an hour with a plastic bag cleaning up the avenue with me. And so one of the first kids who was in that program was Pietro Moscato, who is still with us, and he's a fixture, and he's the general manager of the Buffalo location. And so Pietro never put $10 in the can. He always opted to walk up and down the avenue with me picking up garbage. And so that's basically that was the start of it. And then as time went on, it evolved.
The boxing program here, I don't know how it is at any other facility, I think it allows Kevin to be an extremely compelling role model along with Pietro. Both of these guys are honorable, decent people who really want to make and share their knowledge with people. And these happen to be kids at this point, 16, 15, and 16-year-olds, but I've seen them work with adults. So I think it is important to have a skill and share the skill, and then we journey together to see if we can grow together. I mean, I'm sure Kevin learns from them. So that's the importance of the exchange. It's not only Kevin and Pietro sharing what they know, but look at how much they're learning from these students, just like I learn when I sit in and watch the students and Kevin engage. So I think it's really important.
What do you like about today? You like getting hit in the face. Okay, that's a little hot.
The kids have given me an opportunity to hone my craft, to be the best teacher and guide that I can be.
As a person, I grew as a person positively, and he also will treat us as the kids from the program as his own kids. We grew up to have so much love with him, although he will keep us very busy in the program, which is to train and keep a positive mind. So that's what I can say I got out of the program, which is he helped me as a person to grow positively, have a positive mindset, and let go of negative energy of wanting to fight.
Their parents are always coming in here saying, the demeanor of my son or my daughter's changed so much. They're respectful, they're polite, they're doing their homework, they're going to bed early so that they can get up and go for a run before school in the morning. I'm very, very proud of every single one of my kids.
I had my father up here in Buffalo, and he was dying, and he was in the hospital. And I knew that he only had a couple of weeks left. And that day, I was right here in this room. I was teaching a class, and I got a call from ECMC, and said, your father just passed. And I was planning on going to him right after the class and spending time with him, which I was doing many hours a day. And so I went there and sat with him, with his body, for a couple of hours. And I also thanked the staff at ECMC because they were great. I thanked them for taking care of him. And when I left the hospital, I thought, well, I'm going to take the day off, which I think is understandable. I had scheduled a seminar with a bunch of rowers who I was training at the time, and I've been working with them for months. And I was going to cancel it, but then I heard him say, go on now, boy. Go on now. You're off tomorrow. Finish your day. Go see those gals and work with them. And so I went and did my job. At the end of the class, I often ask kids, how did you do today? On a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being great, 1 being pretty stinky. How'd you do? And most of the gals said, 7, 8, 9. A couple girls said 10. And then I said, how did I do? How'd I do? And I remember one gal, Kate, in the front said, you were great. You're always great. Well, I said, thanks, Kate. Thanks for your support. And I said, when I thought about coming here today to work with you gals, and I like you all very much, but I wanted to be as far away from you as a hawk is from the moon. I remember Kate was just, the kids were taken back by that. But then I said, listen, my father passed away this morning, and I spent some time with him. And I was going to cancel today. And I don't know, for some reason, I don't know, it seemed like he would want me to be here, because we're getting ready to finish our training together. And I didn't want to, I thought it was important for me to be in front of you. I said, because you're my team. That's how I see you gals. You're my team, and I need the pull for you. So we need to pull for each other in life. So I said, so this season, when you're on your boats, when you're in your boats, and you failed trigonometry that day, maybe you found out that your boyfriend's cheating on you, or your mother yelled at you, or you're thinking, man, I think I'm coming down with a bad cold. Don't indulge yourself and feel sorry for yourself. Not in that moment. Because see, you're part of a team. You have other people in the boat with you. You've got to pull for them. You got to pull for them. And in life, I think we have to pull for each other. So I pulled for you today. I pulled for you today. I wasn't going to tell you. I wasn't planning on telling the girls that day that Dad had passed. But somehow in that moment, it seemed like a teachable moment. So I decided to speak to it, you know.
We can choose any path we want. And what we're after here is excellence. Day by day, it's a little bit better, a little more excellence. Whether it's music, sports, your character, it's all the same. It's all the same. How you hit the bags, you'll need to translate this. How you hit the bags is how you do life.
One of the things that inspires us, and of course you see it on our shirts, I don't have it on right now, but is, Amor Vincit Tumorum. The Latin is, Love Conquers Fear. And many of our boxers have that on their t-shirts. And it's a powerful, powerful process when you think that way, love conquering fear. When Coach Michael first met me, he said, "Sir, what does that mean?" I always get a kick out of people trying to translate it. He said something about love. What's love? I said, love conquers fear in Latin. And he paused for a second. He said, oh, I believe that. Yeah.
Your love for life, your love for your family, your children, boxing, your discipline, your art, doesn't matter. Love conquers fear every time.
It sounds touchy-feely granola, doesn't it? But it's not. Certainly soldiers get it. They have to love each other. They're not usually fighting for democracy or freedom. They're fighting for each other. Think about a mother wolf protecting her cubs from a grizzly. Love conquers fear.
Soul is not the color of its thoughts. Think only in those thoughts that can bear the full light of day. Day by day, what you think, what you do, is who you become.
It's difficult to be a kid, especially in this day and age, And they come in here and they find something that they didn't even know they were looking for, And then before they know it, they're a part of this.
I see Kevin as my father and Pedro as my brother because my father was never here for me in these situations. Now I'm doing boxing and I wish I could just go home and talk to my father. Hey, I did this today. I improved in this and this and this, but I do it, but with Pedro and Kevin. I talk to them instead, so that's I see them as a family.
It is fair to say Casey's is my second home because this is where I grew up. I came when I was 12 years old here, and now I'm 27. That's almost half of my lifetime, and I've been here. And I continue to come here because I feel like this is my family. Casey's has taught us that we can all become friends, and that's why I continue to come to Casey's until today, because whenever I come to Casey's, I feel like I'm home.